Dan.
Look at the youngster.
I know, man.
All right, you can. All right,
He just
perfect.
graduated high school. My man just graduated high school in June,
Wait,
wasn't
can
it?
you guys-
In June? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I didn't know if you guys could hear me, but yeah, I graduated high school in June, or well, we did our graduation in July because of COVID-19, and we had
Right.
what's it called, like a ceremony, no parents. It was just the students on the field, and it was good though. It was like just grateful that they set something up for us to just like I guess say goodbye to our classmates one last time.
Don't
Right.
take this the wrong way, but you look like kind of like an innocent young man, and
Doesn't he look like that? I mean, he's got a baby face,
you
man.
look like. Don't take this the wrong way. I mean, with all you look like a mama's boy, right?
Oh, stop it,
how
dude.
shocked are
Yeah.
What's the
people?
matter with you?
How shocked are people when you tell them you're a fighter, if at all?
Oh well, I mean obviously the boxing game knows me, so I mean it's not.
Right.
It's more of like people with like, oh, you see like I mean a lot of fighters are like that where they look like don't judge a book by its cover kind of thing.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I mean obviously me, I have a baby face. I mean I don't know. I people are like, yo, how are you a fighter? Like you look like you're an altar boy or something like that. But yeah, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Well, and also too, like he's a genuinely nice guy. I've seen you in interviews and everything like that. He's like a genuinely nice guy, you know, and that's what like you know, you see him and like he would completely work you over, you know. I mean, if you got into a fight with this kid, he'd kill you, you know.
So did your classmates kind of, are they wary of you not to say the wrong thing in front of you or say the wrong thing to you, I should say, because they know you are a fighter? How do people treat you in school? They treat you differently? Like no one's pushing you or trying to, you know, steal your locker or anything like that or asking you for lunch money. I can imagine, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously I'm not in school anymore, but when I was
you
in
were,
school, I never really had issues like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really had issues like that. I would just really, when I was in school, I would just put my headphones in, go to class, do what I gotta do, and then just walk around like not just be myself. Basically, I wouldn't like people would never test me. People would never basically try me. But if they did, I mean, I wouldn't even. I'm not like I wouldn't even. What's like. I wouldn't even give them the time of day. Really, like I would just.
So you have no problem walking away from
my day.
You would have no problem walking away from a fight.
Oh, not yeah. That's it.
What a smart kid!
I do enough
young
fighting
man,
in the ring.
I love to hear that. That's so.
Yeah, I mean,
that's so refreshing to hear.
Right.
Yeah, I do enough fighting in the ring every day, so I don't need that outside the ring.
Now, since you turned pro so young, have you had an extensive amateur career at all? Like, how many amateur fights have you had?
Yeah, so I have 175 amateur fights.
Wow, that's
I won the Junior Golden Gloves 4 times.
Yeah, he's got a ton of experience.
Yeah, I was on I was on the USA national team as a 15-year-old. I was at the Olympic Training Center. I've been fighting since I was 7, so I mean, this is
Jesus.
It's nothing. I was born for this. This is like my destiny.
And he's also, not only that, he's also sparred the who's who coming up. I mean, I saw you with Otha Jones, you know, Otha Jones Jr. or Otha Jones, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, and you sparred all this talent coming up. So with 175 amateur fights, all the experience you have, how big has the leap from the amateurs to the pros? Has it been harder than what you expected or about what you expected?
Well, first, I mean, I was grateful enough to grow up with the likes of Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Davis, Otha Jones, Lorenzo Truck Simpson, Keyshawn Davis coming up in the amateurs. Everyone just, I mean, I've been around since I was 7, like I said, and Shakur's grandfather, Wally Moses, was actually my trainer growing up from 8 years old till I was 15. So me and Shakur traveled around the country together. Me and Tank traveled around the country together. But my amateur pedigree coming from the amateurs to the pros, my style throughout the amateurs was always more suited for the pros anyway. So once I got to the pros, I'm a thinker. I pick my shots, and in the amateurs, it's really not that good to be a thinker and a patient fighter
Right.
because you have 3 rounds to get what you have to get off. But once I got to the pros, it all transitioned smoothly.
Let me ask you a question. So you mentioned your trainer, and you had your trainer from the time you were 8 till the time you were 15. You've transitioned over to Joe Goosen, correct?
Yes, sir.
Why did you make that change?
Well, discussing with my team and obviously me, it was obviously Joe Goosen is one of the best trainers probably ever. He's
Yeah.
had the likes of Diego Corrales, Casamayor, Mike Nunn, and I mean, who wouldn't want to train with the guy like Joe Goosen? Obviously, obviously he's been there. He's got the recipe to get to the big dance, and that's exactly why I'm with him.
How did that whole thing come about? I mean, did you pursue him, or did you try to talk to him, or did he come to you and say, "Hey, you know what? I see a lot of talent in you. I'd like to work with you," or how does that work?
Yeah. Well, obviously Al Haymon, Louis DeCuba, they also referenced that to me and my team and I, and Joe obviously had a liking for me as a fighter, and that connection. As soon as we talked, it was like we knew each other for 10 years, and we molded perfectly, and I'm training and I'm getting ready for December 5th now with him, and I feel great.
I think the thing about it is December 5th coming up. You're on the undercard of the Errol Spence Danny Garcia fight. You've been on the other undercard of was it Wilder Fury? I believe it was. You were on the undercard of that, wasn't that right?
Yeah, Wilder Fury, Wilder Ortiz,
Yeah.
J Rock versus Jason Rosario, and my first fight was obviously in Newark under Shakur Stevenson, and then I signed with Al. But yeah, those are the fights I've been on.
It's insane because like you're on these are huge cards now. I mean, they're putting you on like some really
Yeah.
major cards, and not everybody gets there. Do you feel a lot of pressure? Because the PBC is really like putting a lot into you. You know what I mean? Because we know your name, you've been on TV,
Yeah.
and with them putting a lot into you, do you feel like a lot of pressure on your shoulders from that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was born to do this, and I've been on the biggest stages in the amateurs, and now they're putting me on the biggest stages in the pros. And I know what I want to be in the coming years, and just I'm working. I'm the hardest worker you'll meet. Basically, I'm always ready, so I don't have to get ready, and just pressure makes diamonds. So, just I'm ready at all times, and nothing's really at my age. A lot of people would get overwhelmed. For me, it's just another day in the office every time I step in the ring.
Now, you said that you were on Shakur Stevens' undercard, and that obviously Top Rank is Shakur Stevens' promoter. Did they make a play for you as well, or was that just a one-off? Were there other promoters gunning for you, or was it just Al Haymon and PBC?
Yeah, well, after my debut, obviously I fought on a Top Rank card, but it wasn't a. I'm not signed. I was never signed with Top Rank. After that, Al Haymon took me in as family from right after that fight, and obviously I felt comfortable going with him, and he's put me in the best position possible each and every time. And I'm just grateful that I signed with Al Haymon with the best of the best in the sport.
You really did. I mean, I got to be honest, man. I mean, there's, with the PBC and everything like that. I mean, it's, yeah, you did a pretty good job there. I'll tell you that. And your trainer Joe Goosen for sure. Now you're fighting on December 5th. You're fighting against a guy named Stephen Pulliam. Is that correct? Stephen Pulliam.
Yeah.
And what do you know about him?
Yes, sir. Yeah. He's pretty tall. He's about. I mean, I'm about 6'2", but he's 6 foot. He likes to box. He's a step up fight for me. He's obviously he's only lost 2 fights, and they're all split. They're both split decisions. People will consider it a step up fight for me. So, like I said, I've been training with Joe Goosen, and I've been in camp for 3 months now, and I'm in the best shape of my life. So I can't wait to display what I've learned with Joe Goosen and what Joe Goosen has improved in my arsenal.
Prior to, I mean, you say improved, but when I watch you, it's funny because, like, when I watch you, I don't see a whole lot of downside. Let's put it that way. I mean, you're a very good boxer. You got good offense. You got good defense. What kind of things, without obviously giving a game plan away or whatever, what kind of things are you looking to improve on?
Well, obviously Joe Goosen has worked on a lot with me. Just, I wouldn't even say getting better at, just sharpening my tools and just tweaking a few minor things that become bigger things in bigger fights. So like people say, the small things are what matters the most, and Joe Goosen looks deep into my style of fighting and sees where things need to be tweaked and improved, and he does that.
How much did, like, say your amateur career, because you had a lot of fights. I mean, 175, that's a lot of fights, man. How much did your amateur career help you going into your pro career in times like this, when you're going on an undercard in Texas, the biggest fight of the year? I mean, make no mistake, you're on the biggest card of the year. You were on the biggest with Tyson Fury, So how does that help? Because it's got to be nerve-wracking for a young fighter to go in there, but how does that help you? How does your amateur experience help you with that?
Yeah, well, just the amateur experience. I mean, obviously, after like your first few fights, you're like my first few fights as a kid when I was 8 years old. We're just like, you're obviously nervous, but then again, at that, like, I think of it like that. I'm still just a kid. Like, I go in there and having fun. If you're not having fun with what you're doing, you're not doing the right thing. So, I mean, for me, I just go in with a smile. I'm in the locker room smiling, all loose, just ready to go with ice in my veins. And just amateurs, just like I said, just gives you experience in your fight and obviously your skills and being on the biggest stage as possible. Obviously, I fought in the biggest tournaments in the amateurs and was noticed by the biggest promoters in the pros in the amateurs as well. So, I mean, for me, I just go in as if it's another day in the office, like I said, and just go and perform and do what I do best.
Beeb, this guy is an absolute killer. You heard what he said, ice in his veins, and you could see it. You could see it when he's in the ring. You could definitely see it. He takes no mercy. It's very workmanlike when he goes in there.
Very composed.
Very composed. That's what impresses me most about it. For as young as you are, the composure that you have.
That's the thing. When people talk about amateurs and they compare it to the pros, I think one thing the amateur ranks do them, if you have an extensive amateur career, is it kind of normalizes you, because you do it for so long. I think it enables you to become instinctive to the game, in other words. So when you go to the pros, things are going to be different, but you're not really nervous about it, because it's like I think in the back of any fighter's mind, when they have such an extensive amateur career, they say to themselves, this isn't going to be that different. I've been doing this my whole life. This is just another step. In other words, when you go to those tournaments, his pressure. So this is just another step. Like, you'll have fights, but then all of a sudden you'll be in a big tournament, and there's always gradual steps you make as an amateur. And I think this just transcends when you go into the pros. That's what I would imagine, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So what is your prediction for the fight on December 5th?
My fight or the main event?
Your fight. Your fight. I don't care about the main event, man. I got you on here. What do I worry about the main event, man? I got the main event right here on my show, baby.
Yeah, so for my fight, I'm gonna just go in there, stick to the game plan. Obviously, if the stoppage or knockout comes, it comes. If you go in there looking for the knockout, it very rarely happens. So just go in there and have fun, like I said, and just do what I do best, and just go to work. That's really it.
That's it. You heard it right here. Vito Mielnicki predicts a first-round KO. He said, Stephen Pulliam, he's coming for you. 1 round, it's over with. He said, you know what he said? He said, don't even show up. Don't even show up. Don't even bother. Just mail the check to me. That's all she wrote, baby.
That's all she wrote, baby.
Oh, somebody's got sound on here.
Wait,
All
you
right,
can hear me?
guys.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. Somebody had put their sound on, so I can hear myself through the mic. So don't worry about it. No worries,
like-
man.
yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, mine's a little staticky right now, so I can't really understand. But, wait, what were you saying? I didn't hear it at all.
I was just translating what you said. You know, you said you were going to go out there in the workmanlike fashion and just get the decision or knock out if it comes. I was just translating for the people what that actually meant. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. So,
all right, Vito, man, good luck on December 5th. Thank you so much for coming on. We got to have him on again, B.
Yeah, we'll bring him
yeah.
back. We're
We're going to bring him
100%.
back, baby.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate all your support and appreciate having me on. Follow me on Instagram at Vito Mielnicki, Twitter at Vito Mielnicki Jr. And I can't wait to put on a show for you guys December 5th.
We can't wait to watch it,
He's
man.
a pro at the interviews too. He didn't even have to ask him to give out his social media. He just did it.
Boom.
That's a pro
baby.
right there. He knows how to promote. You're not to promote yourself. You're learning quick.
That's right.
True.
That's
Good
right.
deal, man.
It's all part of the game.
That's it. All right, man. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck.
That's awesome, man.
Nice kid, man.
Really nice kid.
Sharp too.
Very, very sharp, man. Very impressive, man. Very impressive. That's for
Good
sure.
interview. Good interview.
All right. Let us see here.
Very well spoken.
He was, and I think that's the thing. When I was watching his fights, and I reviewed like this